Atomic Habits is a great book, but some of the things that James Clear wrote about contradicted principles you can find in books like 0 to 1 or Personalities and Permanence. Here are 4 things Atomic Habits didn't get right. In his book 0 to 1, Peter Thiel condemns the system-oriented culture because it assumes no direction. He takes the school system as an example where most students follow a general curriculum without any specific purpose in mind. As a result, they become good at everything and exceptional at nothing because they have no direction in life. According to Thiel, this is because Western society no longer has any definite vision for the future. We're all in the same boat and no one is at the helm. This creates several problems. First, if we're not actively creating the life and society that we want to have, we may end up with something we don't want. Second, when you focus on systems, it's easy to lose the pressure and motivation and never reach the goal. On the opposite, when you focus on a definite goal, you can find ways to hack or change the system so that you can achieve your 10-year plan in 6 months. Keeping the goal in mind creates urgency the system alone cannot generate. Working in a system is great, but actively working towards a goal is better. This is why Elon Musk sets up enormous goals with short deadlines. In the end, it's how you achieve stuff. Habit shaping is a technique that helps you master a difficult habit. The idea is to slowly get into it by mastering the first 2 minutes of the habit. For example, if you have a hard time going to the gym, then focus on wearing the right clothes first. Once you have mastered changing clothes, drive to the gym, but don't go in yet. Once you have mastered driving to the gym, go train for 5 minutes, then leave, etc. The purpose is to make the habit as painless as possible. However, this approach is flawed. If you need time to master the first 2 minutes of the habit because you don't want to practice it, then maybe the habit isn't for you. To be honest, that was the overall feeling I got out of the book. It focuses so much on decreasing pain and maximizing pleasure that I felt like it had been written for people that shouldn't get into specific habits in the first place. If you really can't do something or don't want to, then don't freaking do it. Habit hacking does not make any sense because you shouldn't have to hack a habit. The irony is that I suspect James Clear feels the same way. At the end of the book, he advises readers to choose a habit that is easy to practice and that comes naturally. This piece of advice discredits the entire work he's done in the book to make habits easier. Somehow it didn't seem to bother anyone. Surprisingly, there was no mention of the role that lifestyle plays in habits, despite its massive influence on the psyche. When I was on a strict lion diet and did nothing but hustling and working out, following any type of difficult habit was much easier because I wasn't craving any dopamine. But as soon as I drank alcohol, watched a movie, read the news, ate sugar, played video games, did not sleep enough, consumed social media, or anything alike, following tough habits became much harder. Why? It's because garbage in, garbage out. You can't sustain a gym routine if you watch Netflix and eat McDonald's. As simple as that. If you feed your body bad food, little sleep, negative relationships, and no exercise, you will lose all desire to practice your good habits no matter how easy they are. James Clear talks about the influence of genes on your capacity to practice habits, but genes don't have as big of an impact as we think they have. Do you know what has an impact? Sleep, food, exercise, and people you hang out with. Everything you consume and do on a daily basis impacts your behavior much more than your genes, or anything else for that matter. Humans have free will. Many people tend to forget that. To make it easy, James Clear recommends that you pick a habit that fits your personality. But this is wrong for several reasons. If you have a personality that suits no habits, you'll never pick any. And personality isn't fixed. In his book Personalities and Permanence, Benjamin Hardy demonstrates that personality evolves during life and that it can be changed with a goal, a different environment, and a bit of work. While James Clear advises finding a habit that fits your personality, Hardy explains the opposite. Pick a habit that will help you transform, not one that will make you stay the same. James Clear says that identity drives habits, but Hardy claims that habits drive identity. So who's right? Actually, both of them. Someone who identifies as a bad driver will never drive well. Identity shapes habits. But someone whose goal in life is to become a good driver will eventually drive well. Habits shape identity. Numerous studies have shown how individuals develop the character they need to have to fulfill their social role. For example, it's not that all managers are naturally annoying, but that they must become annoying to be successful at their job. We become what we do. If we want to improve, we must avoid doing what we already are. We need to start doing what we want to become. Atomic Habits is a great book, and it will definitely help you break bad habits and establish good ones. But not everything written in the book is true or helpful, and to his credit, James Clear made it clear at the beginning of the book. This is why we should always keep a critical mind and cross-check what we read in a book with what we have read in another book. If two people speak about the same principle, it's likely a real principle. For a complete summary of James Clear's Atomic Habits, head to RSNotes.com.